Okay, well then, some of you can fill her in on what this answer is. She said, how can I handle this? Somebody's always talking. The question is, how can you handle that? The question is, how can you handle you? What's going to happen? The universe backs the part of you that is of clearest intention. So if your attention is on someone who's annoying you because they're talking, or on somebody who wasn't honest with you, or somebody who was rude to you, or the fact that your car didn't start this morning, and you are focused on that, focusing on that frightened part of your personality is focusing on the part of your personality that is of clearest intention. Now, what if all of that's going on for you? Someone's talking, the car doesn't start, maybe the child is ill, maybe you're going to be late for work, and while that is happening, you are learning how to experience it in yourself in terms of physical sensations and its thoughts, and letting it run through you, while you focus on what a loving part of your personality intends to focus on. Connecting, harmony, cooperation, sharing, reverence for life. That's the choice that you make. That's why we call this event Intention is Everything. It is making the intention of your soul, the intention of love, your clearest intention. That's the same thing as the first authentic power guideline, making your spiritual growth your highest priority. And the universe backs the intention that is clearest in you. And you choose, because you have the ability to choose which intention is clearest in you. And if you don't choose it consciously, well, we've talked about that. You will choose it unconsciously. And that's the difference between imprisonment in your fear and the freedom of love. You can't wait for the freedom of love to come to you. You're in prison. If creating authentic power, a life of awareness and compassion, is not your clearest intention. So, beloved, that was a surprising start for this session, but I think wonderful. It was quite appropriate.
No, I'm also wondering, it's like when you first recognize parts of your personality that are based in fear, and you didn't see them that way before, it is really surprising and sometimes upsetting, but that's upsetting to a frightened part. But I'm just wondering if a few people from the support team could share about your experiences when you first recognized that a number of the behaviors listed on the handout, or maybe there were others too, were fear-based parts of your personality. So who'd like to share about that?
Yeah, I can share about that. I was actually pretty excited. Hi.
Hi.
I was actually pretty excited the first time I recognized the connection between being impatient and a frightened part of my personality. I had a layover. I was changing planes. It was a short layover. And as soon as I got off the plane, I realized that I had left my wallet on the plane. And I immediately wanted to go and run back there and grab the stewardess or the person at the gate. And turns out the person at the gate wasn't there because they were short-staffed. And so they were just in the back of the plane helping this big, long line of people come up. And I could feel pain in my body. So I knew it was a frightened part of my personality. And the thing that was exciting to me about it is, in that moment, it was more important for me not to act from fear than to act on impatience and do what I thought was just so important for me to do. And I decided I was just going to wait until everybody got off the plane, and then I would ask. And if I missed my plane, or if my wallet wasn't there, it was fine because I knew I was choosing to trust and not be controlled by my fear. So it was really a wonderful experience.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, David. Anyone else?
Yeah, I have something I'd love to share, because I clearly remember when I first realized that I had frightened parts that judged. because before that, I really thought that I was a very non-judgmental person. But when I started using emotional awareness, I can remember thinking, oh my goodness, wow, I'm feeling something. So I did want to look at it. And as I began to look, I really began to see how this frightened part was a big part of my life. And what I also realized that if I didn't become aware of it, then I couldn't challenge it, and I couldn't change it, and I couldn't choose to act from love. So becoming aware, that's been a major, major breakthrough, a major joy in my life, because I saw how I was judging my children, my family, my siblings, all people that I love and want to create a loving connection with. So it was wonderful to be able to see that.
Sometimes it's painful to see it at the beginning.
It was very painful, very shocking. I mean, because it was like, whoa, I had no idea, really, no idea that I had frightened parts that frequently judged.
No, it's really amazing, isn't it? That it seems normal. That's just, of course I have those feelings for these people. You didn't even see it as that. And that's really what we're talking about at this event, isn't it? Really looking at the intention of love and the intention of fear. And if we don't know if it's not an intention of love, then it is an intention of fear. And the fear, it doesn't seem like fear, it seems normal. And so I think you're really showing us that through the sharing. So thank you so much. Yeah, Pam, that's great. Thank you. And I want to hear from more of you about these things. But I was thinking, beloved, let's talk a little bit about this, the accurate language for our new consciousness. Would you kind of go through that with us?
This is what we've been practicing yesterday. Instead of saying, I feel angry, which is what every 5 sensory personality that is angry says, or I feel jealous, or I am having a great day. You can instead choose to be more accurate in your articulation of your experience. You can say, a frightened part of my personality is angry. Or you can even be more accurate. You can say, a frightened part of my personality is active, and I feel pain in my chest, in the upper left part, and the lower right part feels like an ice pick is sticking in me, and I have a constriction in my throat about the size of a golf ball, and in my solar plexus I have a churning sensation, a fluttery kind of sensation, and my thoughts are saying, he is a jerk. Look what he did. He took my parking place. I was clearly sitting here waiting to take it, and he zipped right in front of me. All of that is an experience of a part of your personality. And you're calling it angry, frustrated, resentful. But it's a part of your personality. It's not you. This is the new language. Why is it a new language? Because the consciousness that's now moving in to hundreds of millions of individuals is new. It's a language that reflects that consciousness. And when that consciousness enters your awareness, the old way of explaining things and experiencing things doesn't fit anymore. It just isn't right anymore. And it's not because it's wrong, it's because you see and sense and understand and perceive differently. So that's the new language. And that allows new potential. The new language is designed to help you create the new power. The old language helps 5 sensory personalities create external power. Let's see visual 29. Choosing an intention is an act of creation. Well, most of you probably knew that before you came here. If you have an intention to go to school and you follow it, then you go to school. You just created something in your life. If you come to a stoplight and you have the intention to turn right, then you turn right. You've created something in your life, but not something significant. When we talk about creation here, we're talking about life-changing creations. We're talking about shaping your life. In other words, in this new consciousness, which is bringing into being a new way, a new language to articulate it, it is very easy to discern the difference between a creator and a victim. The old language is that of a victim. I'm angry. I can't do anything about it. That's the way I felt when I was in my 20s. I knew I was angry. If somebody said that to me, I'd say, yeah, I'm angry. So what? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. But that was such a destructive way to be in my life. It pushed people away. And I was lonely. And the lonelier I got, the angrier I got, and the more I pushed people away. And not only that, the people I drew to me were angry like me. So we had a lot in common. And we spent our time together feeling superior and angry and judging other people. You could see that's a hell. But I thought it was a good way to be. I thought it was a better way to be than other people. I was choosing unconsciously and I was creating my life. You are creating your life with each choice of love or of fear. That is the creative act. That is the power that you have. That is the key to every door you want to open. But what door do you want to open? More judgment, more anger, more despair, or more connection, more sensitivity, more joy, more meaning, more love? That's power.
Beautiful. And I'm wondering who would like to share about your experiences of what you're understanding from doing the exercise last night,